So originally trained as a blacksmith. I worked for a castle in Western Bohemia in the Czech Republic, in the region where I grew up, before going back and studying natural material design and subsequently switching to sculpture. What brought me to design really is looking at objects from the perspective of conceptual art. You know, what I'm really interested in are interactions between body and object. That's kind of what brought me to the collaboration with Alinea. So basically, I got an email one day saying, I'm a chef, I'm looking for somebody to design new ways of serving food. And there was no condition, there was no specification. It was not a bowl or a fork or a glass. It just said new ways of serving food. And to me, that was really intriguing because food has evolved pretty dramatically over the past 100 years or so, but the service, especially on the higher end of the spectrum, has not. And we started a conversation, like, why do you need it? And like, what are the problems you're trying to solve? So the question becomes, how do you deliver certain textures and temperatures and scales to the guest without compromising some of the properties? So the Porthole project started as a challenge when the whole team started working on a cocktail lounge concept. One of the concepts was a short-term infusion that evolves over a short period of time. The question was like, how do you present to the guest in a way that's intuitive, that really exposes the transformation, and that conceptually kind of connects with what it is that you're trying to do. And I kept thinking of a window of a Porthole, a movie that I used to watch as a kid that had a submarine in it with a big window. You're looking undersea and you're watching this life happening. And that's kind of what inspired the system. It's the idea of two flat panes of glass that have a spacer in between, and you just basically tie them together with a screw. You can load them with anything you want, and you can just watch them infuse for a limited period of time. We produced 24 pieces for the Aviary. They were handmade at the studio. And once the Aviary opened, I immediately started getting calls from the guests, like, can I buy it, can I buy it, can I buy it? And our answer was no, no, no. But then once a couple hundred people inquired, it was kind of like, a couple hundred people have inquired, they bothered to call. So it means there's interest, So we put together a Kickstarter campaign for the production. It was very successful, and we've just a few months ago finished delivering the last of the thousands of pieces that we produced for the backers. And now we're here trying to see if there's a market beyond the Kickstarter community.